Hello and welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. I've been traveling the world. I've been in San Francisco at Block World and Litecoin Summit. Came back home last night. Today went to the Falcons game. Rise up. Notice my hat. I'm merging crypto and football now. I am wearing my BitBoy Crypto hat. You guys can get on bitboycrypto.com. Got a lot of compliments on the merch while I was on my trip, so don't forget to head on over to the website and buy some. If you're not a member of our community, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the bell for notifications. We call it the Bit Squad. If you do, you can enter our contest. All you got to do is like and comment on this video and some other videos this month, and you can get the full details down below, but you got to be a subscriber to win. Don't forget to also join us on Telegram. Okay, guys, today we are going to be talking about something massive. This is the only video that you need to watch to understand where we are in crypto with the progress of the ETF. I'm going to be talking calendar, I'm going to be talking dates, I'm going to be talking predictions, be talking about everything that is going to be coming up as soon as this week. I'm going to lay out a pretty good argument for why I believe that we are so close to finally moving where we want to go. So, okay guys, so that being said, it is important for me to tell you that I am not a financial advisor, and all of this is my own opinion. So just a quick look at the markets before we do that. Bitcoin right now is sitting at 65.18. It is up slightly. The market cap is 200 and almost 4 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 55.2%. A lot of green today, but just small minimal gains. There's some red mixed in, probably about 25% red. So all that being said, while I was going on my trip, a lot of stuff happened regarding the ETF and the markets, but I want to highlight just a couple of them and talk about how this all ties into the ETF. So, okay, we got this announcement that Trump's new SEC commissioner means Bitcoin ETF will happen. So, on the SEC, you have 5 commissioners. One of them is Hester Peirce, who we already know is super bullish. I do not know the other gentleman's name that supposedly is pro-crypto, but this third commissioner that Trump has recently, now that's not FUD Trump, that is Donald Trump, named this new commissioner. Now he is going to be the third bullish commissioner. That pretty much guarantees ETF approval. If you look in this guy's history, his name is Elad Roisman. He's very bullish. He said a lot of positive things about crypto. He's even said that crypto doesn't even need an ETF to move forward. He believes in it. He thinks it's time that we really need to go and check and see what's going on with all of the regulation regarding crypto and make sure everything is on the up and up. So it sounds like an approval is almost a done deal at this point. However, this has been going on since July 2nd. This vaneck Solid X ETF by cboe put in their request for their ETF to be reviewed on July 2nd. So basically, they've had a lot of time to make decisions. We're going to talk about the calendar in just a little bit, but the next key date is September 30th when we are expecting an announcement. I don't think with only 2 weeks before that announcement that he's going to be able to come in and make a solid decision. It might look a little sketchy. Trump brings this guy in, all of a sudden it's approved. I think a delay announcement is now inevitable. Now, that sounds bad, right? Because we want the acceptance. But let me explain to you why it's not actually that bad. So let's move on before we get there to Michael Novogratz. So he is an ex-hedge fund manager. He's a billionaire investor. A lot of people listen to what he has to say. And this was what he said a few days ago. He said, "This is the BGCI chart. I think we put in a low yesterday, retouched the highs of late last year, and the point of acceleration that led to the massive rally bubble. Markets like to retrace to the breakout. We retraced the whole of the bubble. Hashtag calling a bottom." So now you have this huge billionaire investor coming in basically saying, we are now at the bottom and ready to move up. Now, I feel like that's pretty close to accurate, but not exactly. So how does this all tie into the ETF? So this article came out August 22nd. It's a Bitcoin ETF calendar, 9 different crypto ETF, SEC approvals pending in next 6 weeks. Now, what I want to skip down to is I want to skip down to this part right here. So we've already received rejections from 9 other ETFs. Now, a lot of people think that this one the Solid X vaneck ETF is going to get approved. They were the first group, cboe, that's the Chicago Board of Options and Exchanges. I think it's close to that, if that's not it. They were the first to get futures contracts approved for Bitcoin. So it stands to reason they're a big player in the game. I don't know if they've got money in people's pockets and that's why people think it's going to get approved, but it is most likely going to be the first one that gets approved. So let's talk about the dates. The most important is the Solid X vaneck ETF published by the Federal Register on July 2nd, 2018. Now, why is that date important? Because the first deadline is 45 days after July 2nd. The second one is 90 days later after July 2nd. That means that the dates are August 16th, 2018 and September 30th, 2018. Of course, the SEC can give an update earlier, but in general, it takes its time to make a decision about the different topics discussed. Now, this is very, very important. The final deadline is expected for February 27th, 2019, 240 days after. So you probably heard some of your favorite YouTubers, which would be me, and other people talking about February, that February is the date when we're going to get an answer. And you probably wondered why. Well, here it is. They have 240 days after the application is filed to make a decision. So all that being said, we've already passed the August 16th date, which we're going to go back and talk about a little bit. Now we are heading towards September 30th. So let's check out what happened on August 16th. Absolutely nothing. Why? SEC delays VanEck Solid X Bitcoin ETF decision to September. Now check out the date here. August 7th, 2018. And this basically says, in an order published on August 7th, officials at the agency wrote that they were giving themselves more time to deliberate. So that was basically a denial that we got. Now, the date's important here because this is 9 days before the deadline. So it's already shown that this group of commissioners is willing to go ahead and come forward and move up the date of their announcement before waiting to the last second. So what we may see, we could see an announcement on this ETF as soon as tomorrow. You just had this new commissioner appointed, which I've already said I believe makes a delay inevitable. So it stands to reason that sometime between Monday and Friday, we can get this denial. It's almost like one of those things where you just want to get it over with. You know, you ever had to make a hard conversation with somebody and like you keep putting it off and you keep putting it off and you keep putting it off and it finally comes and it's a terrible conversation. Maybe you got to fire somebody. Maybe you got to break up with somebody. You know, maybe you got to tell somebody that you need your private key back, whatever it might be. And you finally do it and it's finally over with. But that dread, it really like drug you down leading up to that conversation and just made you feel icky, like terrible. Well, that's what we've been seeing with this ETF. We have all these dates and we've been moving towards them. And it'd just be better if we just went ahead and knocked it out. Like, let's go ahead and get the delay. Let's go ahead and put it on the table, get rid of it. And that way we can at least move past these dates that seem to be messing up the markets. So if we get that announcement of a delay this week, it's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. Let's go ahead and rip that thing off, get the delay. The price will drop. I believe this week, before we get that announcement, we will be heading back to 7,000. And when we get the announcement, I'm going to go ahead and call. I predict we're going to get the announcement on Friday or next Monday. The last time the announcement came on a Tuesday. So, you know, the day may be inconsequential, but I believe probably by Friday or Monday of next week, we will go ahead and get a delay announcement, and then it'll be over. Here's the beautiful thing about it. If you go back to this calendar, there's no more dates. The only date after this is February 27th. So now we've got from September 30th to February 27th to basically push the price up and for the markets to move forward without that like arbitrary date hanging over everyone's head. So that's actually pretty good news. Now, it doesn't have to come in February. The announcement of the approval or the complete denial, which is an option, but I feel is unlikely, that can come anytime between September 30th and February 27th. So it would be great if we go back down, we get this denial announcement, we go back down, we're probably going to head back between 58 and 6,200 most likely. Probably just right around 6,000 is where we'll go. We've seen whales use bad news to push the price down. We probably will see that. There's such strong support at 6,000, probably because of some mining theories and things like that, that it's hard for them to push the price lower than that. So we probably have one more push down, but once we get this last push down, we are probably heading up and heading up permanently. Of course, not financial advice, but that is what I'm making all my investments on. That's what I'm making all of my trades on, is this potential news coming up soon and then going down, and then we will finally be able to start seeing the light. I talked about best case scenario where we turn bullish, things start moving up, and then we get an ETF announcement on top of a bull run would be fantastic. I think most likely we're looking at the end of the year before we start seeing good gains. I don't think once we bottom out, we're going to immediately start going up very quickly. I think we'll probably be going up pretty slowly, but it will at least be incremental progress. So that's all I got, guys. I want to explain all that to you. This is what I'm thinking. This is what's going on inside of BitBoy's head. This is what I'm making decisions on. So I want to share all of this information with you guys so you guys had it all out there so you guys can make smart decisions for yourself, and more importantly, to take that and research it. Look up all the stuff I talked about. I'll put all the articles down below, and that way you can make an informed decision. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to the Bit Squad. Big shout out to Busto, who had us out to their conference, or who paid for us, a lot of influencers, to go to Block World and to Litecoin Summit. It was really great covering those events. We had some awesome parties. I'm going to be putting out a lot of videos this week showing you guys some of the footage, a few interviews that I did, and also some other fun stuff, a recap, the whole 9 yards. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Big shout out to the Bit Squad. Until next time, BitBoy out.